Oh yeah. What's snapping, y'all? Or should I say what's crapping, man? We're gonna go with the what's crapping angle, man, because I saw this and I'm a little late seeing it. This went up, I guess, when is that? In 2020, June 11th, man, 2020. You're supposed to have some vision, man, 2020 vision. And this is a very blind statement from what I saw, man, coming out. 2020 had a lot of blindness in it, y'all. Lots of blindness in it. And so June 11th, 2020, and this is coming from Zildjian. This is a heartbreaker for me, man, because I'm a Zildjian man. You know what I'm saying? I love Zildjian, man. You see my cymbal array back there? I'm man, I'm telling you, this is heartbreaking for me, man, because I read this. Let me just go ahead and get on to it, man. What grabbed me by the boo-boo so much, man? This right here on their page, Confronting Racism. Okay, Zildjian, I appreciate your well-meaning intentions, but no, cause no. Okay, let me just go ahead and read what the statement says, man. Let me read it, and it's like I said, this is hard because I love Zildjian. Man, I got Zildjian on my wall that I've had for years, man. Like that, I've made like kind of like a little background. You guys see it in my videos, right? I got my wall, made Zildjian symbols that I've gone through, that I chewed through, right, with my undisciplined playing, man. I'm trying to refine my technique and stuff like that, and act more like a more refined drummer, if you will. But at any rate. I love my Zildjians, man. So this is heartbreaking for me to read, and I'm still going. At the end of the day, I'm still going to play my Zildjians, but I probably won't buy them from the company. I will just go ahead and purchase them used because it's hard for me to want to support this. Zildjian they got the kind of cymbals, they got the variety and stuff like that. They got a lot of leverage on variety of tones that I like to put together. A lot of great cymbal companies out there, man. I'm not saying anything bad about any other cymbal company or anything like that. Zildjian just happens to have like an array of flavors that suit my palate. Okay, so like I said, I'm a Zildjian man. So this is heartbreaking for me to read. Okay, so the statement written by Craigie. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, man, and I guess that's my fault for not, being as more paying attention to what's going on with the Zildjian company, and I'm gonna be bad at pronouncing your name. I'm really sorry about that. No disrespect. It says, after 2 weeks of protest and social unrest, business leaders throughout the country have come forward to confront racism. I would like to add my voice to that conversation because silence is no longer acceptable. Okay, and silence will not bring about the kind of reforms our country needs. Okay, all right. I feel you. Like I said, I appreciate your intentions, man, but this is not the right approach. He says it's time to acknowledge that America has a systemic problem with racism. I totally agree. I absolutely agree. And the conservative audience, there's no, here come the Republican, there's no systemic racism in America, there's no white supremacy, there's no white privilege. It's like, and I keep trying to tell Republicans, you have no idea who you are, and you have no idea who the Democrats are. If you did know who you are, you would know that there's systemic racism. And if you knew who the Democrats are, you would definitely know that there's systemic racism. But because you're in denial of it, you can't beat the Democrats because you keep wiping their slate clean. I keep trying to tell Republicans that. They don't listen. They got too much pride, and they're exactly why people think the party switch sides and don't trust them. And they are exactly the ones sabotaging their own advancements in America to try to keep America great again, if you will, right? Republicans have destroyed themselves as far as that goes. They've totally forgotten the radical principles that the Republican Party was founded on, the radical idea that our rights are God-given for every man, all created by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. Republicans have they mock and besmirch that. They are a sad shadow of what the Republican Party, the radical Republicans, were founded for, and now they give Democrats the distinction of being radicals, as if they're making a derogatory statement about them. Republicans don't know who they are, and they don't know who Democrats are, and this is why stuff like this can go forward, and they make advancements with this stuff, causing the decay of our republic. Right? But they don't see it. Too much pride. And I'm just, some, knucklehead next door who doesn't know what he's talking about while they keep making the same mistakes. They're the ones with the power to keep making the same mistakes. And it's not working out so good for you. But at any rate, let me get back onto here. And this guy's talking about being silent. Some things you might want to know to stay your tongue about. Man, I'm not, not trying to be condescending, but this whole idea that you should just speak out. You might want to consider some things before speaking. Sometimes it's good to hold on to your silence and have a filter for a second before you just go speaking out about things, because you can make things worse. All right. So now, so like I said, man, but I agree. Yes, there is systemic racism. It's coming from the Democrat Party. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. Okay? Sadly, Republicans don't understand that, and unfortunately, the Zildjian company doesn't seem to understand it either, and are emboldening the very people who are keeping systemic racism, white privilege, and white supremacy going. That's who the Democrat Party has always been. Maybe you guys forgot who the apartheid party of the United States has been. It's been the Democrat Party, the rebellious against America, the rebellious against the Constitution, the very rebels the Constitution talks about. That's the Democrat Party. Yeah, but okay, you know, you only help them with this statement. You're helping them do the evil that they're doing. All right. So now he says it's time to acknowledge. Okay, wait. So I lift up my voice. Yeah, I read all that. I don't want to read it again. Make me nauseous. All right. So he says, I want to say it's wrong that Black Americans fear their own safety and the safety of their families. Wait, okay. And you know, unfortunately, I can't say this. I say these things out of protection for everybody. But let's go ahead and just break this down to the Black community. You can't say anything that to try to actually help the Black community, because if you do, you're considered Uncle Tom. Or they're going to have a whole bunch of racist words for people who step out of the herd from them, right? You are Uncle Tom. You are a bootlicker. You are sellout house N-word and all that sort of stuff. You're going to get called all in it. You're going to get called more nasty racist names than any white person ever bothered to even try to have the time to call you. You're going to get it from the Black community. They're going to tear you apart. So when it comes to all this stuff right here, I want to say that it's wrong that Black Americans fear for it. They fear for their safety from other Blacks. And you know this. Why are you going to ignore that, man? Why you going to ignore the violence that is perpetrated on other Blacks by other Blacks? And you just going to try to call it it's an American thing, that America, racist white America, is out there doing this stuff to Black folks. All you're doing is giving the Democrats what they need to go ahead and keep doing it, because this violence that is happening in areas run by the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party runs these areas. You might want to take a look at that. Is there white supremacy? Yes, there is. Is there a systemic method of controlling the population and controlling the Black vote and the way that Black folks think? Is there a method of doing this? Yes. Put in place by the Democrat Party. The Democrats own these places where all these grievances are. You might want to look at that. Yes, white devil Democrats. All right. So, and Republicans, they know this too. They'll say the same thing. Well, it's Democrats running these areas. We ain't got no power there. We have no influence over what goes on in these neighborhoods. And they'll be saying like, well, how come Republicans don't? You don't vote for us to do anything there. Right? How come Republicans don't do nothing for Black folks? You don't vote for us to be there. We have no authority in where you are. You give all that authority to Democrats. Now, Republicans know this. They know that the systemic racism that exists in the Black community. They know it. But then they'll turn around and say, well, there's no systemic racism. Why do you do that? Why do you contradict yourself and take the weapon that the Democrats basically give you on a silver platter? Why do you do that? Because you're so full of pride, and you think that you don't have to. You think by admitting that it's an admission of white guilt for you. It's not an admission of white guilt. It's assigning blame to where it actually goes. But you know, I don't know. You guys want to find out the hard way and just lose the whole freaking country because you're too prideful to admit where this is coming from. It's not an admission of guilt for you. It's pointing out where it actually comes from. Y'all don't do that, okay? But at any rate, so the safety of their families. What about the safety from each other? Because they're the ones who are for the most part, doing each other dirty, right? Why are you pandering to these people? Why are you emboldening them to keep on? You're getting the police out of the way so they can screw each other even more. All right? I'm not trying to give a pass to the popo. I'm not trying to do that. You know, call out evil where it is. But they're actually safer with the police. They're safer with the police than they are from each other, man. That's just a fact. All right? And I say that in love and help for Blacks. Hey, stop tolerating this stuff, man. Stop doing it. And it's hard for them to stop to not put up with it, because if they try to speak out against it, they can lose their life. All right, it's not that easy. It's just not that easy. But this campaign that you're doing, man, this don't help. This is not helping. You're emboldening them to hurt each other. All right. So he goes on to say, I want to say that it's wrong that Black households earn only 60% of white household income. Oh, wow, man. Okay, you know what? You might want to take that up with people like Maxine Waters, you know, who says that she's down for socialism. She loves socialism. And she wants to lay punitive taxes on businesses if they don't treat black folks. For what? She says it herself. She will tax them out of business. Now, if black folks can't get jobs, and especially when they're out there burning their own their communities, burning down their jobs, how are they supposed to have a job if they're burning down their communities, man? Okay, what kind of income do you expect them to bring in? You expect them to bring in income when you got the Democrat Party who's made sure that that there's no husband. Where the husband at? If there's a husband and a father in the home, they get denied these benefits. So of course their income is going to be cut in half. What do you expect? They're in these neighborhoods or in these communities where you got high taxes. These Democrats impose these high taxes, suckering people to thinking that we need to pay more taxes. We're going to tax the rich. You know, when you claim to do that, you're going to tax everybody. Everybody going to pay for that. You got to make up for that cost somewhere. Don't you know you're a business owner, man? Right? But yeah, probably for the lucrative enterprise that you have, you got tax shelters, you got accountants, you got an army of accountants probably, right? To make sure that your taxes, that your revenues are protected from the IRS and from the state. Okay, so maybe you don't know what that's like. You don't have to pay attention to that stuff. You got accountants watching the bottom line for you. You know, but as for the rest of us folk who have to make up the cost, you know, we wondering why prices keep going up and stuff like that because we keep voting, you know, I'm not part of that stuff, you know, but you got people out there voting, think that they're going to benefit from these taxes and these regulations going to be placed on these businesses. And then they got to make up that cost somewhere. I noticed that these Zildjian prices are going up a little bit, huh? Right? Cymbals are dang expensive. Worth it though, man. They good, man. Well, they're almost worth it. That's why I say I get them you. I gotta offset the cost a little bit. You know, the cymbals are expensive, man. All right, supplies are getting more expensive. Why? Because of all these self-righteous policies, economic policies that people think that they're gonna benefit from, which is only just rolling on the cost to us little folk. That's what you're doing. So when you wonder why black households only own 60% of white house, they're in an area where their income is cut in half, controlled by Democrats. You think that it's like they say about women. You think that you can just get away with paying somebody less? If you could actually just get away with paying somebody less, all businesses would just hire black folks, right? Why not? Right? It's hey man, we can get away with paying black folks less. Why don't we just hire all black people? We're not going to do that. Okay, so at any rate, man, you're part of. If you're supporting this, you are exactly part of the reason why black folks only earn only 60% of what white folks make. Yes, you part of that. All right, and then he goes on to say, I want to say that it's wrong that 4.2 million black Americans have no health care coverage in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. Oh, come on, man. Okay, so what involves that health care coverage? What, you want to get the shot? What, you want Tuskegee all over again? Okay, is that what you want? All of America is being pulled in a Tuskegee experiment. But as it is right here, 40.2. Okay, well, this whole called healthcare coverage was never affordable, despite the so-called Affordable Care Act. You penalized the policies from Obama penalized people for not getting this so-called healthcare that was supposed to be so affordable. Okay, with what money? See, people were suckered by the idea that it was going to be a law, right? That everybody was going to be issued health care. No, that wasn't a law that everybody was going to be issued health care. It was going to be a law that everybody had to get it. And if they didn't get it, they were going to get fined for it. Affordable Health Care Act that you would need financial assistance for, right? How affordable is the Affordable Care Act if you have to get financial assistance for it? Somebody else being made to pay for that. So if you're wondering why 4.2 million black Americans, you know, and I don't trust your stats as it is, but I'll give you a good example of why, right? Oh, and maybe a healthcare wouldn't be so expensive if it wasn't added the weight on it by men needing mammograms. Why? You know, what do we need that for? Maybe healthcare wouldn't be so expensive if you didn't promote healthcare as this right and call things like, what, abortion? Abortion is a healthcare right. What the crap does abortion have to do with healthcare? Right? So when you're talking about have no health care coverage. Well, gee, probably because 4.2 million of those black people that don't have any health care are the ones that are dead. All right, we should have a lot more black folks. We're only, 13% of the population? Maybe if black folks will stop killing each other in these areas that Democrats have strategically put them in to do violence on each other from the womb all the way to the streets, hey, there might be more black folks out there who might be able to succeed. But no, we can't do that. We can't do that. How come their lives don't matter? As the question goes, how come their lives don't matter, dude? Why did you sell out to this, man? This is really irritating. It's frustrating. It's heartbreaking, man. I'm serious, man. I feel betrayed, if you will, right? He goes on to say that it's wrong that nearly 1 out of 4 black children go hungry every day in the richest economy in the world. Okay. Well, you know what? Black folks ain't the only people that are hungry, but since you want to focus on black folks in the richest economy in the world, hey, here's an idea. Why don't you support people stop making policies that make it more difficult for black folks to just go out and get a job? You vote for policies that roll that cost over onto them, where they can't go ahead and succeed. Right? This is intruding on them being able to get jobs. Stop playing to the entitlement mindset, because you got a lot of black folks out there in the culture as it is. It's like, they're afraid to do well in school, because if they're seen doing well in school, they're going to get accused of being white. In racist America, white America, well, you don't want to be like them, all successful and stuff, doing things that are responsible, getting an education and not indoctrinated, but actually educated. Right? Oh, we can't have that. We don't want white people. You don't want black people acting white as if being industrious and educated is something that's exclusive to only white people. That's a big problem in the culture, You can't do these things, because if you do, you surrender your black card. You can't do that. Right? So you might want to knock it off with the things that actually get in the way of black folks succeeding so they can go out and make a living. It's no reason for, and you're talking about, for black children go hungry every day. Well, with all the taxes that we're being suckered into paying, well, how is that possible? Because a lot of the black community is being made to be wards of the state. They can look forward to the 1st and the 15th. We got all these taxes going in there. Well, why all the hunger? Because it ain't about helping the black community. It's about using them as a voter stock and using them as a sympathy weapon to get votes, to play on people's self-righteousness. Oh, we could always blow to the black. Oh, look at the blacks. They're so hungry. Right? And you keep them that way. It's like the saying goes, the Democrats, as I've said before, a long time ago, back in my early days of making videos, of course the Democrats love the poor. That's why they keep them that way. And they can always point to black folks. Oh, look at those poor, starving black folks. Don't you want to be a good person and do something for them? Right? Sally Struthers showing images of starving black kids from Ethiopia. Don't you feel so sorry for them? Don't you want to do something? Right? You always point to hungry black folks. And y'all keep them that way so you can make your money. Just like the Lord says, you always going to have the poor. Why? Because you're going to have people like you pandering to us, making sure that we stay that way, so you can leech off of our plight. That's what you do, right? So now we got, he's just right. The richest economy in the world. Yeah. And there's a reason why a lot of these people are so rich. And you're getting in the way of everybody being able to prosper by pitting people against each other and allowing this victim mentality to go on for people to pander to. This causes the poor to become more poor and the rich to become more rich. And the rich are becoming fewer and the poor are becoming more. It's sad how people do this stuff. And then we got, what is this here? The mass incarceration rate of over 500 black people, a third of the prison population. That's terribly wrong. Yeah, you can thank Democrats for that, man. What places have the highest incarceration rate? Places run by the Democrat Party. High school dropout rates, highest drug addiction rate, highest unemployment. All these areas run by Democrats are who run these areas. Who do you think the judges are who are putting them in prison? Activist liberal judges. Democrat judges. Who do you think are prosecuting them? Legions of liberal lawyers. Most of your lawyers are Democrats, dude. Right? Coming out of these liberal schools, getting their degrees. Where do you think they come from? Who do you think dominates the field of this? Which means, who do you think is putting them in prison? Democrats. You barking up the wrong tree, man. You making this broad brush accusation indictment of America. Take that up with the Democrats. All right. So, Zildjian says, what can we do to address social injustice? Man, man, please take this thing down, man. If you really want to help, take this down, please. You know, I'm not saying you got to do that. I'm not going to buy your product anymore. I'll probably still buy it. If I can't find a used, I'll still probably go, and buy it new if I need it. You know, so you're not going to get any sort of, ultimatum from me or anything like that. I'm just asking, man, please, man, take this garbage down, man, please. Let me see. Zildjian pledges to become a more diverse company. Oh, well, I guess that's nice of you to admit that you weren't diverse before. All right. And that it took this to wake you up. And unfortunately, you're not any more woke than you were before. This actually made you more sleep. Increasing our efforts to hire more minorities. Okay. For what? Just for being black. So did you hold that against them before? Did a black person walk in and you were like, no, I'm not going to give you the job because you're black? I mean, seriously, how did this work? You didn't hire more minorities before? Did more blacks come in looking for jobs at the time? Is it maybe because, I'm just asking, is it maybe the reason why you didn't have more blacks working for you was because more blacks didn't come to you looking for jobs? Or was it an issue of a black person came in looking for a job and you're like, no, I don't want to hire you because you're black. I prefer this person. Was that how you guys rolled? Which one was it? Okay. And the reason why I'm asking that is this. So now you mean to tell me that all a person has to do is show up and be black? Look. Just because of your skin color doesn't make it right to treat a person bad because of their skin color, and it's not right to treat them special for it. You're looking at this through a lens of color, man. We can't even be people to you. We're a color to you, man. Don't you understand? It's like and unfortunately, as much as black folks keep saying, we just want to be treated like people, they demand that you see them as a color first. How can you respect a person as a human being when you can't see past their color? You have bought into this, man. This is a huge mistake. And too much of the black community has made this mistake among themselves. Demanding that you see there and respect their color first while demanding that you just treat them like a human being. You can't do both. All right. But in this right here, you're just admitting that you're just going to see black folks as colors. That's really sad, man. That doesn't work. All right. Establishing a diversity and inclusion advisory company. Wow, man, you gonna pander to people like this, man? It's a waste of your time and resources, man. No wonder these cymbal prices are going up. You don't waste your time and your money on that, man. Oh my goodness, dude. How is it so hard to understand this simple? You need an advisory board for this? Really? You need an advisory board for this simple principle? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you? Is that too flippin' hard for you to understand? You got to pay some people to come in and counsel you for that. The golden rule, man, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's too much for you to handle? You got to have an advisory board for that? That's a waste of time and resources, man. That's sorry, man. That's just foolish. But hey, I mean, who am I to talk, man? I'm just a nobody musician, dude, who hardly anybody buys my music. What the crap do I know? You guys are the ones, I guess, with the dollar votes to show that you know what you're talking about. So, whatever. Augmenting our diversity training to address unconscious bias and deepen our understanding of the black experience in America. Well, you're not getting your money's worth, man. Are you paying these people for this? You pay people to teach you this? You've been robbed. You've been robbed, dude. You've been robbed. You need to get your money back at gunpoint if necessary. Sorry. I guess, so let me go ahead and sound a little hood and gangster here, I guess. That way I can qualify as authentically black, because these are the people who get to qualify as authentically black when they talk like this. Right? So anyway, what else we got here? Recruiting at least one minority intern each year. That's all you got to do. How condescending is that? How condescending is that, man? Okay. Hey, well, can we turn that into endorsements too? Hey, I'm black, man, and I guess that's all I need to be. Can I get some more cymbals? Is that okay? Hey, free cymbals. You're black. You get more cymbals. You get more cymbals. Everybody gets more cymbals if you're black. Can I give you my address, man? And I can just, because I'm black, man. And can we just hook that up? right? Because I got a Christmas list. I got a Christmas list, man, that I would love, for old Saint Nick to come in and drop off at my doorstep. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, uh, okay. Anyway, so things like what else we got here? Zildjian will continue to expand our existing scholarship program for minority inner cities. Okay, you gonna put more money out there. All right, you just gonna throw money at the problem. That's haven't you seen that's been done for years? It's not a money issue, man. It's not a money issue. There's an indoctrination issue. They're really, when you get down to it, it's a spiritual issue that you guys don't want to address. You just want to think that it's just an issue of people not liking each other, right? But don't want to really get down to the nitty gritty of why. And now that you've broken your silence about it, and unfortunately you went and barked up the wrong tree and don't see the forest through the trees. It's really sad, right? Okay, we pledge not to do business with anyone who demonstrates racial prejudice. Okay, when you're talking about this kind of stuff, is actual racial prejudice. But I'm not going to follow your lead, man. Like I said, I still love using Zildjian cymbals, and this is heartbreaking for me, man. Because when you're trying to make a career of something and you want to have like the best tools to use, sometimes it's not practical to just say, well, I'm not going to use these anymore. Right? I like the Zildjian cymbal has a sound that I like. I don't want to have to bone out on Zildjian cymbals. Let me see. And finally, we have a strong voice within the percussion community. We plan to use our social media platform to raise consciousness. Man, you're supposed to raise noise, man. not try to raise consciousness for what? It's the wrong kind of consciousness, man. This ain't it. This ain't it, man. It's sad, man, when you got these people out there. They want other people to shut up and not use their resources to make their voices heard. In culture and in politics and stuff like that, and they say people should just stay out of stuff like that. But when it comes to just really advocating for the wrong flipping thing, they want to be as loud as they possibly can, and it's really sad. So at any rate, man, I wanted to do I still might, man. I wanted to do a video, man, like, kind of like talking about the cymbals and stuff that I have. Not anybody really, probably really cares any more than they probably care to hear like this random mind that I'm talking about with Zildjian cymbals. They don't really care about, it's like what I got to say about my music and stuff like that. That's proven by the fact that people hardly buy it. Thank you guys. Thank you to the blessed few who actually do buy some of my music and stuff like that. But, most people don't. But I really dig my gear, man. And I just want to be able to like express thanks to the Lord for saying, hey, you hooked it up and, I just try to, try to make a joyful noise where I can, and whatnot. But at any rate, y'all, that's my spiel, man. And, Zildjian, just a little tough love, man. And, if I pray you receive the Lord's peace and truth, man, because this right here, this is not truth. This ain't helpful. This ain't helpful, man. You're pandering to an idea, a victim mentality that's coming from a wrong place, man. People are being plagued by fear. This is propaganda. People are being indoctrinated and inundated with this stuff, trying to keep us divided, man. And you have played into it. You put your resources behind this, man. It's gonna get worse. All right, it's gonna get worse. Please, man, take that article down, man. All right, anyway, but do you, man? Do you? All right, blessings.